and welcome to my kitchen. Another episode of What's for Dinner. We've got eggplant coming out of the garden, and you know what that means. We're going to make eggplant parmesan. And I already got a little bit of a head start because the first thing we have to do is we have to slice and salt our eggplant, or in some places of the world they call these aubergines. Once you have all of the little caps cut off, I'm going to just slice these about ½ an inch thick or so. But what you have to do now is, I have some in here already in this colander, and it's in the sink for a reason, is I'm just going to layer these in here. And I'm going to give it a good dusting of salt on both sides. I just have a little canning salt. I'm going to sprinkle it over, and I'm going to kind of get the salt on both sides. See, the bottom layer already has salt on it, so what this is going to do is draw some of the water out of the eggplant and make it soft. And I'm going to leave these alone for about ½ an hour, and then when we come back, we'll move on to the next step. And that's building our eggplant so that we can make it into the casserole. Alright, these are some fresh breadcrumb. Here's, right here. I didn't find them. I had that loaf of bread that I kind of needed to use up. So I went ahead and I threw the loaf in my food processor, ground it up. You can throw on about a teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in here. You season it up any way you like. I'm just going to go with my basic, kind of traditional version. Grab some salt here. Of course, it probably doesn't need a lot of salt, so I won't put a lot of salt because we salted that eggplant. Plus, we're going to be putting cheese and tomato sauce, and, you know, we don't want to kill everybody with the salt. So, salt is important for flavor, but over-salting things can make them just disgusting. Okay, so give this a good mix. And what I'll do with this bag after I'm done here is I'll just toss it in my freezer, and the next time I need breadcrumb for anything, I'll just use that. Never throw away your bread. Always throw it in your food processor. It's well worth the extra 5 minutes or so of work. Okay, and just as if we were going to deep fry it, I'm going to dip it in some all-purpose flour. I'm going to dip it in some milk, and I'm going to toss it right here in this seasoned breadcrumb. If you want the breadcrumb to be dried and you have fresh breadcrumb like this, put it on a baking sheet in a single layer in the oven, and then put it in there like 200 degrees for 15 or 20 minutes until it's nice and dried out. I don't find that it's necessary. We're going to go ahead and fry this anyway, so we're going to just dip it in flour, dip it in milk, dip it in breadcrumb, and then I'm just removing it over here to a little tray with some parchment on it. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this eggplant up, and then we'll come back and we'll fry it off. I started a batch while I was finishing up the coating of the rest of the eggplant so I could get these going. And because I use fresh breadcrumb, I've lost quite a bit of breadcrumb in the bottom of the pan, but that's okay. Not to worry. Now I've got my my oil heated over medium-high heat, and the cast iron skillet really helps you maintain that frying temperature. And you can see the oil only goes about halfway up, and that's just how you want it. Don't overcrowd your pan, and then you're going to have to watch it carefully so it doesn't overhook, and then flip it over halfway through. You want it to look light brown, just like this, and perfect. It's going to be nice and soft in the middle. You're going to want to let it cool while the rest of them are cooking. And then when these are all done frying, we'll be back and we'll go ahead and assemble our eggplant Parmesan casserole. We finished frying off our eggplant rounds, and I let them cool for just a few minutes, and I cleaned up a little bit, and I got all of my ingredients to compose this casserole. I have a quart of my homemade marinara that I made last month. This is all from vegetables from my garden, and I'm just going to put a little bit in the bottom, and then we're just going to start layering in some of these slices of eggplant. I've got sauce in the bottom, And I'm going to put some sauce on top of these pieces of eggplant as well. And put a little mozzarella. Again, not too much. I know that cheese is always a good thing, but when you're making a layered casserole like this, it's not always, good to have too much. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to layer another. I should just have enough here to do maybe 2 full layers. And there's 1 slice left over for the husband.
Oh, and I'll have to eat another one.
You had one? I left them unattended. I was going to tell you, the hardest part that you're going to have is keeping your family out of them, because I don't know if your family likes fried zucchini or mushrooms, something like that. This eggplant is right up there with those things.
It's eating just like this.
I know. When I was a kid, my mom used to fry eggplant just so we would stay out of the eggplant. And the only difference I'm going to make now is I'm going to put the parm on first. And I actually think I'm going to put a little more sauce on there.
You're always eating wild-caught mushrooms.
Oh,
Fried
your
mushrooms.
morels.
Yes.
And there's my... There we go. This is going to be perfect because it's going to get in there, it's going to bubble up in between the slices, and it's going to be great. All right. Again, I'm going to do some more parm. And we're going to top it all off with some more mozz. This is actually a 6-cheese Italian blend. It's got mozzarella, Asiago. What else is in here?
Romano.
Provolone, Romano, Fontina. This is a really good blend. And if you're lucky enough to have a good grocery store that has this type of a blend of cheese, then go for it. Because, if you bought all those cheeses separate, that would be expensive. Okay, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and we're going to pop this in there for about 25 to 30 minutes, just depending. We want all the cheese to be melted. We want it to be browned and bubbly. This is right where we want it, and it's ready to come out of the oven. But it is not ready to serve. We have to let this sit for at least 10 minutes while the sauce subsides, it's bubbling, and it ceases to be molten hot lava, because you don't want anybody to burn their mouth. And plus, my pasta is not done cooking yet, and when this is all done and ready to serve, I'll come back and I'll fix you a plate. Okay, we're back, and it's time to fix you a plate. I have cut this up into pieces because I find it a little easier to serve. That way, everybody can have what they like to have, and you can see the layers in there. Now, I wanted to tell you too, you don't have to fry this if you don't want to. My mom used to make eggplant parm all the time, where she just sauteed or roasted off the eggplant in the oven, and it was perfectly delicious that way too. It's a little more delicious when you fry it, but if you don't like it that way, then that's okay. I also fixed a little bit of pasta. I'm gonna just grab some over here. And we don't have proper lighting over here, but it is what it is. A little dressed pasta on the side, and then we're going to come back over here. And since this is for Rick, I'm going to go ahead and put another piece in there.
Probably not.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Eggplant parm and dressed pasta for supper. That was really easy. This is going to serve us for probably 2 meals at least, maybe a couple lunches along the way. You can actually cool this all the way, put it in individual portions, and freeze it. And then whoever likes it can come along, take it out of the freezer, pop it in the microwave, and reheat it really quickly. And it's going to be just as delicious as the day you made it. So, eggplant parm, I bet you didn't know it was that easy to make. I hope you try it. I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya!